Have you ever wondered why you're always the one left out? Why love feels so far away, and real friendships are rare? It's not because something is wrong with you, it's because something is divinely right. You carry a rare light, a fire that exposes what others would rather keep hidden. And that light, it makes you unforgettable, but also untouchable to the wrong people. In this video, we'll uncover 6 deep reasons why chosen ones like you often walk alone. Many chosen ones walk through life feeling alone. Not because they are broken, but because they carry something pure that the world doesn't understand. Your light is real. Your truth is heavy. And when people who are hiding behind masks come near you, something in them gets uncomfortable. Even if they've never spoken to you, your energy speaks loud. Your presence exposes what they're trying to cover, and so they pull away. It's even harder when it comes to love and relationships. You don't just enter a person's life, you stir their spirit. Every human being picks up on vibrations, even if they don't realize it. And you, child of God, carry a frequency that disrupts darkness and awakens the soul. That's not something people can easily handle, especially those still hiding from themselves. Jesus went through the same thing. He came carrying truth and light, but even in his perfection, he was rejected. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. John 1 verse 11. Why? Because light will always make the hidden things visible, and not everyone wants to be seen. As your spirit matures and your frequency rises, you begin to notice things you never saw before. Lies become clearer, pretenders feel louder, and suddenly your tolerance for nonsense fades. Peace becomes sacred to you. You stop entertaining chaos. You no longer beg to be understood. You realize that not everyone deserves access to your heart. Even the people you once loved, family, friends, even partners, may no longer fit the path you're walking. It hurts, but it's holy. God is not punishing you. He is protecting what he placed inside you. So you get more selective, more intentional. Your circle gets smaller, but it also gets purer. You stop sharing your space with people who drain you. Instead, you wait for those who water you. You may be alone, but you're not empty. You're full of purpose, full of power, full of divine fire. Look at Elijah. At one point, he stood alone on Mount Carmel against 450 prophets of Baal. 1 Kings 18. He wasn't surrounded, but he was covered. He wasn't popular, but he was powerful. You too are powerful. And your loneliness isn't a curse. It's a refining season. God is stripping away the noise so you can hear his voice clearly. He's separating you not to hurt you, but to prepare you. Because chosen ones don't fit in. They stand out. And that kind of calling comes with solitude. But here's the beauty. This isolation is not forever. It's a divine setup. As you grow, as you heal, you'll start attracting people who see you, not for what they can take, but for who you truly are. People who speak your language. People who love your light. So don't mourn your loneliness. Use it. Let it teach you. Let it sharpen your discernment. Let it lead you to a deeper understanding of who you are in God. Because, dear one, nothing can hide from the light, and you were born to shine. Stay with me till the end. We're about to explore 6 deep reasons why your path is different, and how every single one of them can unlock the next level of your spiritual journey. This is not the end. This is your becoming. First reason. Many chosen ones find themselves single or alone, not because they are unworthy of love, but because their hearts are still healing. To be chosen often means you've walked through deep pain. You've carried wounds from the past, sometimes from childhood, sometimes from broken relationships, and other times from things you could never put into words. These wounds run deep, and they don't just fade with time. They need care. They need light. They need healing. That's why the path of the chosen often begins in solitude. The universe, or rather, God, pulls them away from distractions so they can finally sit with what hurts, so they can feel it, face it, and then release it. The Bible says in Psalm 34 verse 18, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." God doesn't ignore your wounds, He draws near to heal them. But sometimes that healing requires stillness, separation, silence, because healing is personal, and not everyone can walk with you through that fire. Chosen ones are sensitive souls. You don't just feel your own pain, you feel the pain of others too. You absorb energy like a sponge. That's why being around too many people while you're still healing can feel overwhelming, can make you feel misunderstood or even more broken. So instead, you pull away. Not because you hate people, but because your soul is crying out for safety, for peace, for a space where you can break and rebuild. And yes, during this time, you might feel lonely. You might wonder if anyone truly sees you, or if you'll ever find someone who understands your heart. But this season of isolation isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, that God does His deepest work. He reveals the root of your pain. He shows you the child within who still needs love. And He teaches you how to give that love to yourself. This journey is sacred, is heavy, but it's not forever. As you heal, something beautiful begins to happen. Your spirit becomes lighter. Your heart opens wider. Your energy shifts. You begin to attract people who feel like home, people who speak your language, people who don't run from your light, but protect it. You become stronger, softer, wiser. You no longer chase love out of emptiness. You choose it from a place of wholeness. That's why healing is necessary. That's why so many chosen ones are alone. Not because they're meant to stay that way, but because God is making them ready. Ready to love in a healthy way. Ready to receive without fear. Ready to walk in relationships that are deep, real, and full of peace. So if you're alone right now, let your heart rest. Let your soul mend. Don't rush this part of your journey. The one who is meant to walk with you will not only find you, they will recognize the healed version of you and honor every scar that got you there. And when that happens, you'll know it was worth the wait. Second reason, the kind of relationship that a chosen one needs can't be rushed. Takes time. Divine time. Chosen ones carry a powerful energy, high, pure, and deeply spiritual. Their hearts beat on a different frequency. Because of this, they can't just connect with anyone. They can't fake it. They can't settle for shallow love or surface-level conversations. Their souls crave depth, truth, and alignment. To walk in true harmony, their partner must carry a similar light. They must be emotionally awake, spiritually aware, and grounded in purpose. Anything less becomes heavy, draining, and unfulfilling. That's why many chosen ones remain single. Not because they don't want love, but because they know they can't survive in a love that doesn't feed their soul. But finding someone who truly gets you, someone who doesn't just love your light, but mirrors it, takes time. Real alignment isn't instant. The universe is not just preparing you. It's also preparing them. While you grow, they are growing too. While you're healing, discovering, and rising into your higher self, they are going through their own awakening. The timing of this sacred meeting is not random. It's divine. And until you both are truly ready, the universe will keep you apart. Not as a punishment, but as protection. So this waiting season, though hard, is holy. It's your time to dig deep, to get to know the real you, to fall in love with your purpose, to chase your passions, to dance in your solitude, to talk with God more than anyone else. Because the more you become who you were created to be, the more you attract someone who recognizes that version of you and can meet you there. Yes, it gets lonely. You'll have days where you question the weight, nights where you ache for someone to hold you, moments where you wonder if anyone out there is really meant for you. But trust this, God does not forget the hearts He has set apart. Rushing into love before the time is right can leave scars. It can trap you in unbalanced relationships with people who admire your light but don't know how to protect it. You've come too far, cried too much, and grown too deep to settle for someone who only loves the surface of you. So wait, not in sadness, but in expectation. The right person is being molded just like you. And when the time comes, the connection will feel like home. Easy, clear, whole. You won't have to fight to be understood. You won't have to dim your spirit or explain your purpose. They'll just know, and you'll both be ready, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically, to walk together, build together, and rise together. That's why many chosen ones are alone. Not because love isn't for them, but because true love requires divine alignment. So breathe, be still, keep growing, and trust your soul-recognizing, peace-giving, God-sent partner is already on the way. Third reason, only a few people in this world can truly walk with a chosen one. That's why many chosen ones find themselves walking alone. You see, the chosen carry a depth, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, that most people can't reach, let alone understand. They are the ones others run to when life gets hard. The ones who comfort, guide, uplift, and pour out light even when they're running on empty. But when they need that same level of support, it's rarely there. They are surrounded by people who take from their well but cannot refill it. And so, slowly, they learn to go inward. They draw strength from the quiet places. They talk more to God than to man. They learn to hold their own hearts because very few have the strength or sensitivity to hold it for them. Even when they're successful, when the world claps for their gifts and celebrates their talents, they can still feel incredibly alone. Because attention isn't the same as understanding. Crowds aren't the same as companionship. And applause can't heal an aching soul. This kind of isolation isn't always chosen. Sometimes it's forced. But in that silence, something divine begins to happen. The chosen one starts to hear their own voice more clearly. They become more in tune with heaven. They grow stronger, not because they want to be, but because they have to be. And in time, they begin to attract others who have walked that same narrow road. People who don't just take, but pour back. People who understand their weight, their calling, their wounds, and their worth. Moses had Aaron. David had Jonathan. Even Jesus, during his hardest moment, longed for his disciples to stay awake and pray with him. But they slept. Matthew 26 verse 40. Not everyone can carry the weight of your calling. That's why chosen ones are careful. They don't give their hearts to just anyone. They don't settle for shallow love. They wait. They watch. They discern. Because they know how costly it is to be misunderstood. They know how draining it is to give and not be poured into. So if you find yourself alone, don't see it as rejection. See it as redirection. A sacred season where God is protecting your spirit from lesser connections and preparing you for the right ones. Because the truth is, your soul is too deep to live in shallow waters. And one day, the ones who truly see you, who truly get you, will come. And when they do, you won't have to shrink, explain, or dim your light. They'll speak your language. They'll carry your burdens like their own. And they'll remind you that even chosen ones deserve to be held. Until then, stay rooted, stay faithful, and never forget your depth is not a flaw. It's proof of your purpose. If you really felt touched by this video, please type 333 so others can find this message the way you did. Let's continue. Fourth reason, chosen ones often walk alone, not because they aren't lovable, but because too many people pull from their energy without ever pouring back. When you're chosen, your spirit carries something special. Your energy is rare. It's the kind that lights up a room, draws people in, makes others feel safe, seen, and even healed. But here's the truth. Not everyone is equipped to carry that kind of light with you. People are drawn to you because of your warmth. But what many don't realize is that while they're basking in your glow, you're slowly burning out. Even those closest to you, family, friends, even lovers, can take from your spirit without meaning to. They lean on you, they unload on you, they rest in your strength, but give little back. And over time, that drains you. You start to feel tired around people you once loved. Your joy gets quieter. Your peace feels disturbed. Your soul becomes heavy, not from hate, but from giving too much to those who never knew how to pour back into you. That's why many chosen ones remain single or alone. Because love, for them, isn't about just being with someone. It's about being with someone who truly understands the weight and beauty of your soul. Someone who doesn't just take your light, but reflects it. Someone who doesn't just receive your energy, but returns it and multiplies it. This kind of partner is rare. Not because you're too much, but because you're too sacred to be mishandled. So instead of settling, the chosen one often chooses solitude. Not because they're bitter, but because they've learned that their peace is priceless, that their energy is sacred, that their calling is too big to be tied to someone who's only here to consume and not contribute. The Bible speaks of unequally yoked connections, where one carries the weight while the other just follows. That kind of imbalance breaks the spirit over time. And chosen ones feel it even deeper. They don't just want love. They want alignment, harmony, spiritual companionship. So they wait. They wait for someone who isn't intimidated by their power. Someone who can pray with them, build with them, pour into them. They wait for the one whose soul sings in the same key. And while they wait, they grow. They heal. They go deeper into their purpose. Because the more whole they become, the more they attract someone who is equally whole. This loneliness isn't a punishment. It's preparation. It's the universe saying, you're too valuable to waste your essence on someone who can't feel your frequency. So if you're alone right now, don't rush. Don't settle. Protect your energy. Guard your peace. And trust that when the time is right, the one who can truly walk beside you will find you. Not just by sight, but by spirit. Until then, keep shining, because the one meant for you won't just admire your light, they'll match it. Fifth reason, chosen ones often walk alone, not because they are forgotten, but because they are being prepared for something greater. When you are chosen, your life is not ordinary. There is a divine assignment over your soul. And before you can step into that purpose, you must be shaped, refined, and made ready. That's why the universe, or God, allows seasons of isolation. Not to break you, but to build you. These moments of solitude are not mistakes. They are sacred. In the quiet, your spirit gets stronger. You begin to hear the whispers of heaven more clearly. You start to see who you truly are, without noise or distraction. And in this stillness, something powerful begins to happen. You grow. Without the demands of a relationship pulling at your energy, you are free to focus, free to heal, free to learn, free to become the version of you that your future depends on. It is in this quiet space that your faith is deepened, your self-love is restored, and your purpose begins to rise. You begin to understand your value. You find your voice again. You discover passions that had been buried under pain. You learn to walk with God, not out of fear, but out of relationship. That's what this season is for. And while you are growing, so are the people meant to walk with you. Your future partner, your real friends, your true tribe, they too are being aligned. They are going through their own awakening, their own stretching. Because divine timing means everyone must be ready before the meeting happens. And it will happen. But first, you must become emotionally whole. You must learn how to enjoy your own company, how to stand strong without needing anyone to validate your worth. This kind of emotional independence is what will protect you in the future. Because when love comes, it won't be about completing you. It will be about two whole souls building together. But there's more. Chosen ones are often misunderstood, not just because they are alone, but because of how deeply they feel. You carry a wisdom most people haven't reached. You see beneath the surface. You notice the energy in the room. You read between the words. And many people are not ready for that kind of truth. You don't settle for small talk. You crave realness, authenticity, conversations that touch the soul. But in a world that hides behind filters and fake smiles, your truth becomes too loud, too much, too real. So people step back, not because you are wrong, but because you are a mirror. You show them what they've been running from, and that's why you find yourself walking alone. But hear me, your depth is not a curse. Your silence is not abandonment. Your loneliness is not the end. It is all preparation. You are being prepared to walk in rooms that require strength, to speak words that shift atmospheres, to love with a heart that has been healed and refined by fire. So do not despise this season. Let it work in you. Let it teach you. Let it strengthen you. Because soon, when the time is right, you will meet the ones who don't just tolerate your depth, but match it. People who won't run from your light, but will rise with it. A love that doesn't shrink you, but holds you. A tribe that gets your heart and walks beside you without fear. So be patient, chosen one. This loneliness is temporary. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And when the time comes, you'll look back on this season and realize this was not the end. This was the beginning of everything your soul was waiting for. Sixth reason. Chosen ones often find themselves walking through life alone, not because they don't want love, but because they've been deeply hurt before. Some wounds go far back, into childhood, old relationships, broken friendships, or moments in life that felt unfair and cruel. These hurts don't always show on the outside, but inside, they've left scars. Scars that shaped the way a chosen one sees people, love, and connection. When you've been wounded deeply, you learn to protect yourself. You start building invisible walls, not because you're cold or mean, but because you're trying not to get hurt again. You become careful. You think twice before letting anyone get too close. And sometimes, without even realizing it, you shut out the very love you long for. Chosen ones are soft-hearted and deeply sensitive. They feel things more than most. So when they're hurt, they don't just brush it off. It stays. It echoes. And those echoes can make it hard to trust, to open up, to let someone see all of you again. Over time, this pain creates patterns. You might pull away when things get too real. You might test people to see if they'll leave. You might avoid relationships altogether, telling yourself you're fine being alone. But deep down, there's still a part of you that craves a safe place to rest your soul. A place where your heart can be seen, held, and understood. But here's the truth. Those walls you built were never meant to be permanent. They were survival tools, not destiny. The healing journey for a chosen one is sacred, but not easy. It takes time, honesty, and courage. It means looking inward and letting yourself feel the pain you once buried. It means forgiving yourself. It means telling your inner child, you are safe now. And healing looks different for everyone. For some, it's therapy. For others, it's prayer, journaling, or long walks with God in silence. Whatever the path, the goal is the same: to become whole again, to clear out the pain so your heart can be free to love again. Solitude during this time is both a blessing and a battle. It gives you space to breathe and reflect, to understand who you really are without the noise of others. But it can also feel lonely because the work is deep and not many will understand what you're going through. Still, this season is not a punishment. It's preparation. Because once you heal, once you soften again, not in weakness but in wisdom, you'll be ready. Ready for someone who doesn't just see the surface but understands the journey. Someone who respects your scars because they've faced their own. Someone who doesn't drain you, but adds to your peace. That's the kind of love the chosen one is made for. Deep, honest, spiritual, and safe. But before you can receive that love, you must first give it to yourself. You must choose to heal not for someone else but for you. Because your heart deserves to be whole, and your future deserves to be free from your past. When that healing comes, you'll feel it. You'll open up not out of fear, but from fullness. And when you meet that soul who matches your frequency, you won't have to hide or explain. You'll just know. Because healed hearts don't just love, they build. To get more of this to help you grow daily, please subscribe to this channel and follow us for more.